Now explain mixed strategy. Make this heading mixed strategy. Remember, when in any particular game, if you have a Nash equilibrium, then solution is but if you do not have a Nash equilibrium, then in that game we can have a Nash equilibrium by using mixed strategy. But when you explain mixed strategy, obviously it is better to compare this strategy with the alternate strategy जो अभी तक पढ़ रहे थे, and that strategy was pure strategy. Now what is the difference between pure strategy and mixed strategy? In the pure strategy, any player will choose a specific course of action. Specific means if I say this is player A bowler, then he will choose whether to bowl fast or whether to bowl slow, whether to go to movie or whether to go to concert. But you choose one and you reject the other. You choose one and reject the other. So in a pure strategy we choose a specific course of action. But in a mixed strategy it is randomized. Randomized means player A will choose to bowl fast with probability 0.7. I will prefer to choose to bowl slow with probability 0.3. So what I will do? Actually it is randomized. Probability है सिर्फ, likelihood है वो तो. और यहाँ पे क्या है? I choose one and reject the other. It means अगर मैंने चूज किया फास्ट बॉल करने के लिए तो उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी 1 हो गई और दूसरी की 0 हो गई, मतलब वो अनसर्टेनिटी नहीं है. और यहाँ पे क्या होगा? रैंडमाइज्ड है. सो आई विल प्रेफर टू चूज टू बॉल फास्ट और स्लो with certain probability, and you have to calculate that probability here. So in the mixed strategy basically you calculate set of strategy की जगह क्या बोलेंगे? set of probability बोलिएगा. Nash equilibrium यहाँ में निकलेगा, but Nash equilibrium will be in the sense of set of probability. It means when you explain this it in a game format, what we have explained so far is that जो भी strategy है, if player A will choose strategy A or strategy B, if you choose one it means specific, if you choose the other then also it is specific. But if you say I will choose strategy A with probability P and I will choose alternate strategy with probability 1 minus P, the value of P is not known. The value of P is between 0 and 1. It is not 0, it is not 1. If that probability is either 0 or 1, then the strategy becomes, if that probability is either 0 or 1, then the strategy becomes pure strategy. But if the probability is between 0 and 1, then it is mixed strategy. So mixed strategy is basically randomization. Now what is the utility of this concept? Utility of this concept is that if a player always chooses a pure strategy, then sometimes it will not work. When the strategy of bowling slow works, क्रिकेट से फेमिलियर हो तो बताओ, when the strategy of bowling slow will work, when it caught the batsman by surprise. But surprise element कब होता है? सरप्राइज एलिमेंट होगा जब उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी हो, कंफर्म नहीं हो. बट इफ अ बॉलर इज बॉलिंग ऑल द 6 बॉल इन 1 ओवर फास्ट, तो 4 के बाद वो 5th को भी एक्सपेक्ट कर लेगा बैट्समैन कि ये फास्ट ही आएगा. सो व्हेन दिस इन दैट केस योर स्ट्रेटजी विल नॉट वर्क. अगर बॉलर ऑल 6 बॉल स्लो ही फेंक रहा है तो भी उसकी स्ट्रेटजी वर्क नहीं करती है. स्ट्रेटजी कब वर्क करेगी? जब वो मिक्स करे, उसको फास्ट और स्लो को क्या करे, वो मिक्स कर ले. मिक्स करने का मतलब रैंडमाइज कर दे. वो वहां भी पैटर्न नहीं बनाना है कि 2 के बाद 1 स्लो करना है, वो भी प्रेडिक्टेबल हो जाएगा. सो यू हैव टू मिक्स योर स्ट्रेटजी. सो मिक्स स्ट्रेटजी इज बीइंग यूज्ड इन सम हायर फॉर्म ऑफ गेम. So mixed strategy is basically randomization. Suppose you can explain in different contexts. In a football game, if a player is taking a penalty kick and if he always kick on the left side of the goal post, तो जो गोलकीपर होगा वो उसकी स्ट्रेटजी प्रेडिक्ट कर लेगा. So what is the best way for this person who is taking penalty? To hit randomly so that the other cannot predict. Then your strategy will work. But if you choose always a specific course of action, then over a period of time your strategy will not work. So mixed strategy has a significance. While setting question paper, it is also used. If the examiner set always question in a specific format, कि यही क्वेश्चन बार बार पूछने हैं, तो एज अ स्टूडेंट आप एग्जामिनर की स्टडी प्रेडिक्ट कर लोगे. सो व्हाट इज द बेस्ट वे? द बेस्ट वे विल बी टू randomize. Sometimes ask greater weightage question, sometimes ask less weightage question, sometimes ask more question from one topic, or sometimes ask different question from one topic. So the study of randomization is basically the key. But for us basically, when you have to solve it numerically, we are calculating what? A set of probability. तो बॉलर के लिए फास्ट बॉल करने की प्रोबेबिलिटी ले ली, स्लो बॉल करने की प्रोबेबिलिटी होगी, बैट्समैन के लिए हिट करने की प्रोबेबिलिटी होगी, डिफेंड करने की प्रोबेबिलिटी होगी. एक को आप पी मान लेना, एक 1 - p हो गया, एक क्यू मानिएगा 1 - q हो जाएगा. और पी और क्यू की क्या कर देनी है, मुझे वैल्यू निकालनी है. बट हाउ टू अप्लाई दैट कंसेप्ट? बिफोर अप्लाइंग जस्ट राइट दैट कॉमन पार्ट, डिस्क्रिप्शन पर लिख लेना. Mixed study refers to strategy in which a player makes a random choice, between two or more possible course of action. Based on set of probability. It differs from pure study. In which players make a specific choice. Or take a specific action. So remember, in a pure study you choose one specific course of action. In a mixed study you do not choose one specific course of action. So don't try to find solution within the box, because you are not choosing any one. It is randomized. तो आंसर बॉक्स के अंदर है ही नहीं एक्चुअल में. Answer is always in terms of finding the probabilities. You have to find out that probability. So I will solve that question of 2013. Same question, the second part. In that question number 6C part, you can write this payoff. दोबारा सीखेंगे. For player A and for player B, A और B के लिए, A bowler strategy was to bowl fast or to bowl slow. Batsman strategy was to hit or to defend. The payoff were 100, 100, minus 100, 100, then 100, minus 100. This was 100, minus 100, and -100, 100. ठीक है. Now what you will do, bowler A will bowl fast, consider its probability P. तो स्लो बॉल करने की probability 1 - P होगी. Batsman will hit, consider its probability Q. So he will defend, its probability will be 1 - Q. ठीक है. Now when you solve it for mixed strategy, I said in the case of mixed strategy you have to calculate what? Set of probability. So you have to find the value of P and you have to find the value of Q. P और Q की वैल्यू निकालना ही आपका सॉल्यूशन है. So solve it in this form. First of all, write expected payoff for player A. Expected payoff for player A. Why am I writing expected? Because he is not choosing any specific course of action. वो तो probability है. So what is the expected payoff for player A? Player A has, just look here, player A has 4 different values, this or this. You are calculating the expected payoff of the entire box. Expected payoff for the entire box. So what will be the probability of having this payoff? -100 की probability कितनी होगी? -100 का पे ऑफ तभी होगा ना जब बॉलर फास्ट बॉल करे और बैट्समैन हिट करे. तो व्हाट इज द कंबाइंड प्रोबेबिलिटी? कंबाइंड प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ दिस, बॉलर के फास्ट बॉल करने की प्रोबेबिलिटी P है, बैट्समैन के हिट करने की प्रोबेबिलिटी Q है. तो व्हाट इज द कंबाइंड प्रोबेबिलिटी? P इंटू Q. P इंटू Q इंटू दिस 100 -100 प्लस इसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी कितनी होगी? P into 1 - Q into this, then again plus, what is this probability? 1 - P into Q, this number, plus 1 - P into 1 - Q into this number. Just write that first. So you will write it in this form, -100 P into Q plus, next के लिए हो जाएगा 100 P into 1 - Q plus थर्ड के लिए 100 1 - P into Q and last will be -100 into 1 - P into 1 - Q. ठीक है. पहले ये कैलकुलेशन जरा यहाँ एक्सप्लेन कर लो. This is the expected payoff of player A. Each player will maximize their expected payoff. So if I say this complete expected payoff for player A, इसको अगर आपने Z से डिनोट कर दिया, Z is this. Player A will maximize his own payoff given the probability of other player. So how to maximize it? Differentiate कर देंगे. And you have to differentiate that expected payoff for player A with respect to P, keeping Q constant. Differentiate it and equate it to 0. वहां से आपको Q की वैल्यू मिल जाएगी. ये अप्लाई करो पहले. Differentiate with respect to P, keeping Q constant, and to maximize equate it to 0. Equate it to 0. From that you will get the value of Q. differentiate it with respect to P keeping Q constant, and thereby you get the value of Q as half. Can you interpret this number? With a given chance of 50% that the batsman is going to hit, the payoff of the bowler get maximized, because you have maximized the expected payoff of the bowler. Similarly, now your duty is to calculate what? You have calculated one set of one probability, calculate the other probability. So now write expected payoff for player B, and that will be equal to कंबाइंड प्रोबेबिलिटी तो वैसे ही हो जाएगी, बट रिमेंबर पे ऑफ ये सेकंड वाला लेना है, प्लेयर बी का लेना है 100 देन -100 फिर -100 और 100, सो दैट विल बी 100 PQ प्लस -100 P into 1 minus Q plus -100 1 minus P into Q plus 100 1 minus P into 1 minus Q. ठीक है, इसे भी Z कंसीडर कर लें and differentiate this with respect to Q keeping P constant and then equate to 0. Now you will get the value of P. Now we'll get the value of P. Done. P is 1 by 2. So what is the set of probability? What is the set of probability? Set of probability is P half and Q half. It means what? What was P and what was Q? P is the probability that bowler will bowl fast and Q is the probability that batsman is going to defend. So with a probability of bowler bowling fast 1 by 2 and with a probability of batsman going to hit with probability 1 by 2, both are doing their best. It means both have maximized their expected payoff. So no one will prefer to deviate from that set of probability. In that way it will be referred as a Nash equilibrium. So you write Nash equilibrium in this way. और अगर एक्सपेक्टेड जो मैक्सिमम पे ऑफ है अगर वो कैलकुलेट करना हो तो क्या करेंगे? यू हैव रिटन दिस एक्सपेक्टेड पे ऑफ, ये दिस एक्सपेक्टेड पे ऑफ विल गेट मैक्सिमाइज्ड ओनली विद दिस नंबर. सो इफ यू सब्स्टिट्यूट द वैल्यूज ऑफ P and Q in this number, you will get the maximum payoff. If you substitute the number here, you will get the maximum payoff. So both are maximizing their payoff given this set of probability. So this is one way of applying this mixed steady equilibrium. In every question, in every year, you will always get dominant steady, you will always get find Nash equilibrium in pure steady and find Nash equilibrium in the mixed steady. But in mixed steady we calculate what? In mixed steady we basically calculate probability. Mixed steady में probability निकालनी है और probability निकालने के लिए expected payoff पूरे box का निकाला है. There are two ways of solving this question. I will explain the second method in the next class. There are two different way of solving. The answer will come out to be same. Answer will come out to be same. But this is one way where you calculated the expected payoff of the entire box and then you have maximized it. But there is always, remember, a second way, and that second way will be explained subsequently. But up to this is clear. So all questions from 2012-11 जितने भी question reading के अंदर हैं past paper वाले, in all those question when you will solve, try to get dominant steady first, try to get Nash equilibrium and then calculate mixed steady. And so practice के लिए जितने भी question है सब में apply कर सकते हैं, whether it is when asked or not asked, you can apply for all. So last 5-6 year के जितने भी question है सब में आप dominant steady, Nash equilibrium और mixed steady को apply कर लीजिएगा. ठीक है, we'll continue with this mixed steady topic itself. मिक्स स्टडी के अंदर ग्राफ भी है, बेस्ट रिस्पांस फंक्शन भी है, एंड देयर इज एन अल्टरनेट वे टू कैलकुलेट दैट मिक्स स्टडी, बट रिमेंबर द आंसर विल कमिंग आउट टू बी सेम, सो यू कैन चूज एनी स्टडी. ठीक है, पूरे बॉक्स का निकाला पूरा आएगा. नहीं, पॉइंट you will get a point only when you apply specific study. I am not saying that bowler A is going to bowl fast. I am simply saying what? Bowler A is going to bowl fast with probability half. So you can't say that this is the outcome, or this will be the outcome, or this will be the outcome. When you choose one, then only you can pinpoint, okay, this is the solution. But you are not choosing any one. It is randomized. So the answer does not lie in the box. The answer will lie in the box only in the case of pure study, not in the case of mixed study. Okay? So we'll continue with this mixed study. There are many topics in this mixed study. Game has to be simultaneous. Game will be sequential. Game will be written in extensive form. Then sub game, backward induction, and so on. And the dominated action in the Osborne chapter. Okay? We'll continue with this.